Well, hey folks, this is D-Roy Cruz again. Another thing I want to discuss with you before you in choosing, there's a lot of videos on TV. I mean, not TV. A lot of, what do you call them? Videos. Let me fix this light a little bit. That's a little bit too much. Okay. There's a lot of videos here on YouTube that tell you the difference in the sizes of these instruments. And I just want to say something really quick about the ukulele. Ukulele genre, the culture of the ukulele, the Hawaiian culture of the ukulele, the ukulele. If we're going to keep it Hawaiian and let them be responsible for the genre of the ukulele. I did a video not too long ago about what the purpose of the Guitalele was, and the baritone right here, what that means for the Hawaiians according to us other folks. Okay, what that means in Hawaii compared to this side of the map. Okay. The Guitalele and the baritone have that in common. I mentioned in that video, to where they were designed to give the ukuleleist, this guy, the guy that plays these smaller ones, more options for his sound and more ways to accompaniment. You don't want everything to sound as tight and as treble, and melodic all the time. Sometimes you want deeper and warmer, and you want to be in the middle of the popular music vein and the Hawaiian music vein. Okay, Hawaiian music is somewhat kind of foreign compared to popular music in America. People over here in the north and the south ain't listening to Hawaiian songs. And we may even know how to play them on guitars and lap steels to add genre to the music, more genre to popular music, but Hawaiian music in its traditional setting and by itself, no one's doing that over here. No one's doing that over here where I live. No one's doing that over in Canada. No one's doing that clear across the country. No one's doing that in Maine. Okay, or trying to think of more southern. Oh, Tennessee, Memphis. No one's doing that. And as you go to different places around the map, the ukulele in general is very unpopular. Still today in 2025, it's still very unpopular. This instrument right here, a lot of times, is being produced in certain cities and states and towns as a different version of the tenor guitar. A tenor guitar with nylon strings. Okay, something of that nature. They don't even call it a baritone. They call it a tenor guitar. And a lot of places, the tenor guitar in its natural tuning is more developed and accepted more than you'll ever find a baritone ukulele anywhere. Okay? Or ukulele. Okay, but what I want to say, so I don't hold you long, is that ukulele genre, the traditional genre, the traditional repertoire the traditional style and normality of ukulele playing falls between tenor, concert, and soprano. The culture of the ukulele actually falls between tenor, concert, and soprano. I did a video a while back about, and I did one on Facebook. I think I did one here too. I mentioned it at least, that the tenor guitar, or the tenor uke, came later when people like Shimbokoro and others before him as well decided to travel and make this the ukulele their make it their career. All the pros that you see, if you look at YouTube, all the pros, the people that are out there making a career out of the instrument, they're not playing baritone, they're not playing guitaleles, they're not playing soprano ukulele, they're not playing concert ukulele, unless they're playing concert ukulele or soprano ukulele in a band with other instruments. Those that are going solo and making a career out of it, I said this before, are playing tenors. Even though the traditional ukulele is the soprano. That's where it all began, coming back here from Portugal, or coming to here for the first time from Portugal, however that turned out. But for a long time now, the tenor has been the standard. It's not the traditional, it's the standard. Standard ukulele is the tenor. The traditional ukulele is the soprano. And when you go to concert, you're making it a little bit special. And when you go to the baritone, you're making it kind of something else. But the tenor is the standard of ukulele music. If you look at all the pros, they're not playing, what do we have out there? Grand tenors, super tenors. They're playing the typical, these right here, this standard tenor ukulele is constantly, every day that you breathe, is constantly being made with all kinds of wood and shapes and pricings. But as far as sizes, no. Now, I think people like Tamani Gardner, she plays, I finally found a video of hers where she actually played the baritone. And she sounded like she don't play a lot of baritone when she played the baritone, because out of all her music that I've listened to, I've not heard it in that tuning. I could tell she was in a totally different tuning. Now, I do know that she does play like grand tenors, and I do believe that one of her top ukuleles that she, is seen on stage with is a super tenor. I can, looking at the size of it from different angles and cameras and videos that she does, I can tell she does have a super tenor. She never says that, but I can tell it's a super tenor. She also plays the traditional tenor more than super tenor. But I think her 5-string tenor is also a super tenor, and that rendition of a tenor is finally out on the market. She plays a 5-string tenor. Okay. She plays a 5-string super tenor, which the 5-string super tenor, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I could be wrong about this, but correct me if you know. The 5-string tenor was strictly made for her, and now it's finally being sold on the market, but she was one of the first people to demonstrate a 5-string tenor, I believe, because I've been watching her since 2013, and I have not seen a 5-string super tenor until just recently for sale. maybe, and I will say they sell a lot of tenors and specialized tenors for artists, because they're going to have those prices. So, 9 out of 10, an artist is going to be the one to be the first to buy a, let's say, $2,000 or more, super tenor. Okay? Whereas, us people that ain't stars, we're not popular, we're not anything special, we're just civilians. Okay? We're looking to spend somewhere between $500 and under on any of our ukuleles that we have in our collection. Okay? But my point here is the genre belongs to the tenor now. You want to go really traditional and really, really celebrate, you'll go to the soprano. I had a lot of fun with the last 2 videos that I just recently did. I wanted to feel what they feel. And I understand why you would play a soprano, because every chord that you need to play is like right there. There's no going up the neck, because the neck is not very long. So you can play very fast, and you can play, the challenge, and the fact that you got that little thing in your hand that is, there it is right there. It's almost the size of a harmonica, and it's playing all this beautiful music. That's just amazing. And then the concert, I have a concert behind me as well. I'm giving it away to one of my grandchildren as a present. She's my youngest grandchild. I'm giving my concert away to her, since I have this lovely soprano, which is nothing expensive, but I love the setup and I love the sound. I just realized something. I gotta do some more gluing on my tenor. I see right there where, it looks like I got some gluing to do. Anyway, what I want to tell you real fastly is, again, the genre falls on the tenor. The tenor is the ukulele of the century. More people play the tenor than they play any other ukulele. Okay? But when you get into the what is this? Baritone, then you're getting into something else. Yes, you can play all the chords that you play on the baritone. And I'm saying this because I was just practicing, and I was demonstrating all the chords that I wanted to play on here, on the baritone, because, I have more range, and I have, it's better for my fingers, and the strings are softer, they're more slinky than here on the tenor. And that's because of the size and, the tuning, which is the genre. You don't want to mess with the genre. A lot of people are messing with the tunings of their ukuleles, and they need to leave the tunings alone, because if you mess with the tuning, I'm asking you, are you leaving the genre? Are you changing the purpose of the instrument? Are you going somewhere else? I don't mess with the tuning. Whatever tuning is the typical ukulele tuning, G, C, E, A is one of them. I have 2 more tunings in the closet. I don't care to learn them. I stick with G, C, E, A. And I'm happy with it. I'm really happy with the, which a lot of pros also, I said this in other videos, a lot of pros switch to low G. And I have a high G. I keep one around. That's a high G right there. But I love the low G. It does not make this sound like a baritone. It does not get away from ukulele. It does not take this away from ukulele genre, but as I play this, I love the warm sound the low G gives to the standard tenor. Okay, the super tenors, the way they're made, you may not miss the low G, but they have super tenors in both high G and low G. Correct me if I'm wrong, as well as grand tenors in high G and low G. Correct me if I'm wrong. But what I love to do is a lot of people, before I say that, a lot of people are playing the baritone because, again, they play guitar and they discover this, and once they learn the chords, they fall in love with this, and even though they can't play bass lines like they can on the guitar, they fall in love with the baritone and it becomes their number one. Okay, especially when they find out that they're going to write more songs and they're going to play more fill-ins and riffs and accompaniments than they do on a standard guitar. You're going to make the baritone your ukulele of choice. Okay, but there's a lot of people playing the baritone and giving up on the ukulele tradition. If you go to baritone and it becomes the only ukulele, and there's people on YouTube saying that, they saying that once they went to baritone, they never went to the traditional standard ukuleles anymore because they love the baritone so much, and they play everything on baritone, and people still call it Hawaiian. I don't think you can really. And Aldrin from Ukulele Underground said something about that, like the way the ukulele sounds, tenor back down to soprano, the way it sounds, the way this tenor sounds is the tradition. Okay, the baritone is fun and all like that, but as you can see, the Hawaiians don't talk about it that much unless they're trying to sell you a baritone, or unless they're using a baritone in the band. Now, maybe over the years coming up, maybe they'll start adding the baritone. You know how we are here in America. We're not patriotic about anything, not even the American flag anymore, right? So, who knows? They may include the baritone as middle ground in the ukulele world within the next couple years or more. But so far as I know, according to YouTube and the Hawaiians on YouTube, that ain't showing their face and their skills as much as all these white folks and some others and other Asians and other, people of other countries and that. They're not showing their face and skills like these other people are, and they're playing all kinds of things and calling it the genre when it's not. Not Hawaiian anyway. But the Hawaiians do not go above or beyond the tenor. Soprano, concert, and tenor. That's Hawaii. Okay? From what I understand and what I'm reading and what I'm listening to and what I'm watching. Okay? The baritone can be something else if you don't keep it in compliance with the original, right here, with the original genre. Okay? Now, what I like to do in closing is I like to practice my chords in that, and even my scales in that on the baritone because of the room that I have for my fingers in that. But then when it comes to writing the tune, then I like to switch between the two, or which one is best for the tune. If it's a more popish tune, sometimes with really not that much going on, I might be content with the baritone. If it's a really unique tune, and I got more going on to it, and I'm changing up the strummings and all that kind of thing, then it's going to probably be tenor. And I love the treble sound of the tenor, but I love the feel better of the baritone. And I think we all agree, whether we're Hawaiian or something else, I think we will all agree we love the feel better of, unless you're a child, you love the feel of the baritone, the weight. Both of these are like around the same weight. It's amazing. The weight that you have here, but you have more room to move your fingers around between the frets and up and down the neck. And you know, the deep hollow sound is very, 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 very kind of like platform. It's very typical and very moist and very soft. Okay, but once you finish writing your song, then you might want to change up the chords, and you'll find that nothing beats the tenor ukulele. Anything you play on here, it's either going to sound better if it's, you know, popish. It's really going to sound like something different. And you may play something that's Hawaiian, and it's going to sound perfect here, and then when you play outside of Hawaiian, it really is something different. And I can appreciate the tenor, because one thing for sure, this tenor never sounds like a guitar, and I don't want it to sound like a guitar. I have an acoustic guitar that I could put the strings back on it if I want to acoustically sound like a guitar. But acoustically, I love the tenor, and I also love the baritone. And if I want to sound more guitarish, I'll just play the baritone. But if I want those bass lines, I have a Guitalele, and I still have yet to learn my bass lines on there. But I also, behind me, I have my guitar, my regulars, you know, standard tuning 22 fret guitar behind me, electric guitar, that is. And so there you have it, folks. The genre stays right here, but this is really good for practicing and figuring out the chords in that, and then moving those chords to a more difficult instrument. You know, I was just thinking today, I was just strumming and you know, learning some different chords just a little bit ago, and I realized that I love practicing those chords on here. But then when I switched to the tenor, yes, I could easily play those same chords on the tenor, but the sound is different, and the tenor has that chippy organ-like sound that no other instrument has. It shares that with no other instrument, where this baritone sounds partially like a ukulele and partially like a guitar. No matter where you play, especially if you're in the low D, G, B, E tuning. Okay, so there you have it, folks. I'm all for the Hawaiian genre of the ukulele. It's their genre, it's their creation and invention. We're going to respect the Hawaiians, and we're going to stay pro ukulele by keeping the ukulele genre in between soprano and tenor. But when we go to baritone, if you give up on the tenor, soprano in concert and just go full-time baritone, you're kind of like leaving Hawaii. Even though you can play beautiful Hawaiian music on the baritone, that's not the ukulele genre. The baritone came last. The baritone, like I said, and the guitalele as well, were made they were made and designed to accompaniment the tenor, soprano in concert. They were not designed to be played full time or designed to be played, constantly without the involvement of the band. Okay, because the ukulele tradition falls between the tenor and the soprano. If we take it out of that vein, it's going to sound less Hawaiian, and it's going to become something else over time. And then we have to go way back in whatever years to really get a sound of what the Hawaiian genre sounds like. And like I said, if you look at YouTube, who's playing the baritone? How many Hawaiians do you know are doing baritone covers? Usually they're white folks, or they're people outside of the country, or up here in the north or down in the south. They're not Hawaiians. Hawaiians are not playing enough Guitalele. But if you look at Kaylee and Corey, okay, Corey, I think it's Corey, that's always either playing a guitar or a kinku to back up Kaylee. And Kaylee's always 4 strings. He's always playing a ukulele. That's the genre. Everybody loves Hawaiian Music Supply, their music. Look at who's playing what. You never see anybody play a baritone by itself unless they're just demonstrating one to sell you one. I've looked at over a dozen, maybe over 100 baritone covers. Okay? How many Hawaiians are playing baritone? Because that's not the genre. How many Hawaiians are playing Guitalele without a tenor right next to it being played at the same time? Because the Guitalele is mainly there to accompaniment. Even more than a tenor, accompaniment the tenor or the concert or the soprano. And how many sopranos do you see being played in a band setting? Okay? But as I do my research and I'm watching YouTube, I find out that the Hawaiian genre of the ukulele stops at the tenor. It doesn't go lower or larger than the tenor. So I just thought I'd say that to you before you go to getting all hunky-dory on the baritone. Oh, I can just move everything up the frets. Just move them up the neck. And there I have a tenor and all that. Yeah, that's not the genre. That's why I play both. I love to practice on the baritone, and I love to play certain things on the baritone. But I love to play standard stuff on the tenor. And a lot of things that I used to play on the guitar, you would think that I would play those on the baritone now. Some I do, but most stuff, I love the sound of the tenor, because what I used to play on the guitar, now I'm able to do things to the tune because of the magnificence of the tenor. I'm able to do things with the song that I didn't do when I played these same songs or wrote these same songs even so on guitar. So it's up to you. I know some people will say, what is this guy talking about? Well, watch YouTube. Every time I say the word ukulele, where are the Hawaiians at? You got these guys, teaching you how to play these popular songs on the, and there's some white guys here and there who will actually teach you anything you want to know on the ukulele. Like, what is it? Rock School 101 or whatever. He's one of my favorites. And he's been in Hawaii. I just watched him do, he showed up at the Hawaiian Music Supply channel. He was playing in between Corey and Kaylee. Okay, so he's been around. He and And then there's other people, you know, I can name their names, that are really, they understand like I understand. They understand how to respect the genre. You don't go outside the genre, because then the ukulele sounds like a guitar, and now you got, you know, a bunch of people claiming to play ukulele, and they're playing 4-string guitar. And there's no such thing, right? A guitar has 6 strings. So there's no 4-string guitar. Just like there's no 6-string ukulele. Okay? You want to keep it in the genre. No matter what you like about the tenor, you will find your place, at least on the tenor. If not the concert or the soprano, you will find your place on the tenor if you want to keep it in the genre. If that's, you know, because that's the standard the Hawaiians decided, as you can see. Just pay attention, you'll see that they decided that the tenor is their favorite of the 3. Again, the soprano is the tradition, the tenor is the standard. The concert is a matter of feel and size, and sometimes sound. For more people, I think even grown adults, it's a matter of feel. Okay. But as I play my tenor up against my soprano and my granddaughter's concert, and I play the baritone, I see where the tenor, you know, has brought the ukulele to, you know, a solo person's stage, where, you know, I can understand why Tamani and Jake and most of the Hawaiians that are playing professionally as a career play the tenor. I can understand. I get it. Okay? Hopefully you do. Again, the baritone is awesome, and I love it. Sometimes I love it more, but not all the time. But what I love to do is I love to practice all my chords on the baritone because it's easier. But when it comes to writing the songs and deciding how I want a syncopation to go, it's really going to be about the tenor. Hope that helps. Hope that makes you think before you go to, you know, switching to the baritone, before you go to adding strings to 4. Okay, think about the genre and go from there. Great talk. I think this video deserves a lot of likes and some comments. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think. God bless.